Jesus, who experienced the very hell itself when he was separated from the Father, carrying your sin and mine. He is the one who paid that price for you and for me. Jesus, who experienced its very agony, he did so that anyone would come and believe in him, escape from it. And he alone is able to talk about hell with authority. 21 times in the New Testament, hell and all the derivation of the word is described as a place of unquenchable fire. But that's not all. In fact, I'm going to come back to that again. But he said it's a place of confinement. In Matthew 18:21, in the story of the unforgiving servant, Jesus described it as a prison. But earthly prisons confine only a person's body. Earthly prisons cannot confine the spirit and the soul, but hell is. Earthly prisons cannot chain down the spirits, regardless of what happens to the body. Because the spirit, even in a physical prison, is free to worship. It's free to create. It's free to imagine. It's free to anticipate. And it's free to hope. Paul and Silas were beaten so severely they were bleeding from every part of their body, and they were thrown into the Philippian jail. But in the midst of that prison, they were able to sing praises to the Lord. Earthly prisons could not repress their joy. I will never forget, back in 1986, I had the distinct honor of sitting with a man who was taken hostage in Beirut. You remember back then a bunch of Americans were taken hostages? Well, he was one of them, a prominent man, and was there for over 3 years. He told me unimaginable horror stories about his captivities. And yet he told me he survived by nurturing his inner spirit with hope and anticipation. But in hell, a person is so locked up, their imagination locked up, their thoughts, their creativity, all hope is locked up. Not only that, but the Bible said that it is a place of utter darkness. Those who belong to Jesus, those who refuse to believe the greatest lie, will be in that final garden that is already described to you from the book of Revelation, where Jesus himself physically is present and where he is illuminating and light up that place. But in contrast, hell is a place of perpetual darkness. Matthew 25:30, Jesus said, it is outer darkness, meaning that there will be no morning, no evening, no twilights, no sunrises, no sunsets. There'll be no moral light. The moral and spiritual darkness all the time. Only dullness and ignorance. There is no light to read, no light to see anything or anybody.